All right, welcome to Slots and Locks. I'm Tim.
And this is Mello. We hope you are well. How's it going, Tim?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I have a bit of a milestone moment for us. We cracked the top 100 business podcasts in Malta in our sixth show. So a shout out to a couple of my coworkers back in the day on the island. That'd be Luke and Liam and the team there. I miss you guys. Hope you're all doing well.
It's funny that you say Malta. I've been there one time, and I took this picture. Let me probably put it on the screen to share with you here. Years and years ago, I want to say it was back in the 2012-ish time, but it made me laugh because there was a McLovin. I think that sandwich place is now closed, but it was a cool little spot that made me laugh at the time. Super Bad was really, really popular.
A shout out to Super Bad.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, R.I.P. McLovin. But that goatee. So I was thinking about how you wanted a modern version of facial hair, and I may have the look for you. It comes courtesy of a guy named Patrick Kipson, who's on the ATP tennis tour. Let me show it to you. Tell me what you think. Oh, there he is. How you feel about that? I think this is called a Van Gogh.
Yeah, I'd say Van No.
Well, hold on, hold on. Technically,
He has some patches on the side. It looks like as well.
I mean, I feel that would work for you. Anyway, I believe it's called a beard stash, and I truly think you could pull this off, and I think your wife will thank me.
I bet you will. Well, I've been actually kind of thinking since we're talking about hair and stuff like that. I could show you something that you should probably do as well, which is the good old man bun. What do you think?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, Alexander's Arab. I mean, you can't beat that, right? I mean, if I could pull off a man bun, there was a day in COVID when I just didn't cut my hair all year, and I did technically have a man bun. I, I would have to dig up a photo of it though. But yeah. Anyway,
All right.
thanks for the advice though. I think your advice to me is a little bit better than my advice to you though.
All right. You should do the man bun. I'll do the Van Gogh and one of these podcasts. Maybe we should set like a certain number of likes or things like that to then grow out the Van Gogh and the man bun. Yours might take a little bit longer though.
Yeah, I'll probably be on the 6 month plan.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's jump into this episode. I think the kind of lead in here. So there's this mid-tier supplier just put two hold and win games in the top five in Europe.
And it wasn't one of the giant suppliers either, right?
Yeah, and it's not hype.
That would be tuning, Tim.
Yeah, so we can probably put on the screen here. I'm happy to share, but I can also edit this. But shout out to Eilers and Krejcik. They do great work in terms of analyzing the market and things like that. And so the company in red here is Kalamba Games, as you can see on the screen, and they have two games in the top five, like we said.
Ka-lam-ba.
Kalamba. So today, gonna shout out to Alex Cohen, who we used to work with years ago at IGT. Uh,
I
we're gonna do a podcast on those two games.
Yeah, so these basically are the same mechanic family with a different feel. They're same mechanic family, but a different
It could
feel.
be
So both of these games are in the same mechanical family, which is the hold and win. But they both have an insanely different feel, and it's almost like they're from different time periods.
great. So let's see why. Let's jump into kind of the background of Kalamba itself, which launched in the late 2010s, European focus. We've talked about some other European games as well, like the pub style games that we talked about on a previous episode. So it's a smaller catalog than the big legacy suppliers, the IGTs, the Light Wonders of the world. But again, shout out to IT alum Alex Cohen, who's the current CEO and founder.
Yeah, and to give a flavor of Alex, he was one of those guys who you just knew wasn't going to stick around. He was made for something bigger than the corporate ladders that Tim and I loved.
To say the least. Uh, the interesting thing going back to Kalamba though is that they didn't flood the market with a lot of content. We just published recently an episode around 4,000 games and number of content, but a lot of suppliers used to just push out content. The more content, the more space on the lobby. But they're hyper focused on a smaller number of games, and I think it's also the size of the company. They're not one of those big companies, so they're more.
Right, and I think and I think when you're small and agile, you run fewer experiments on your slots. You have much more refinement. You have much more ability to kind of move fast, and I think that shows in this progress. What's funny is that you're over here on the left, and I'm seeing you anyway. Smaller suppliers don't have to protect 300 legacy titles. They can tune 30 really well.
Yeah, smaller ship, faster turns.
All right, so
Let's share my screen. How about it? Right?
yeah, let's we're going to start with what, 3 blazing scarabs hold and win.
You're right. So let's this. Let's yep. Can you see my screen?
Totally can see your screen.
All right. So just kind of starting off, we'll do some spins, but we want to. This is a 5 reel fixed line slot game. Obviously, Egyptian style. You can kind of see with the symbols. Standard hold and win structure, which we'll explain what that is in a moment.
Yeah, right. So here's how hold and win works in this one. We land with 3 scarab coins. The reels lock, and then we get 3 respins. And every new coin resets the counter. This game mechanic is also sometimes called link and win or lock and spin. I think sometimes they're trademarked. Not quite too sure on that, but I believe that's the case.
Yeah, and as you can see, we're kind of going through the symbols, but the that reset is the hook itself, and every time it resets, it feels like you're just a little bit closer to winning something big.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like building toward a screen fill, right?
Yeah, but the math is controlling exactly how often that escalation happens.
And that's an important distinction. So this is a line game, not a ways game. It's also one of the newer game mechanics in the field. And by new, I mean, 15 years old. But it's made popular initially with 88 Fortunes by Light and Wonder, but formerly, help me out, Tim.
Now you're making me draw a blank here.
Scientific games. Okay.
Yeah, but there was Bally's before them.
For Bally's, okay. Oh, man. Made popular initially with 88 Fortunes by Light and Wonder, which was, originally Bally's, actually, is the game actually builder. But then broader online appeal with suppliers like Pragmatic Play, which delivered games prior to COVID with games like Wolf Gold. Now, it usually incorporates the hold and win name in the game type for players to easily find it. I'll fix that in editing.
All right, so we just actually got into the bonus round here. As you can see here where it says 1 spin left. And if we hit, well, that was a really bad round, but we'll keep playing. The spins left actually will lock and hold and will reset if you hit one of these symbols in here. So we'll keep playing. We can actually trigger too. That's a great part of this demo as well. But the feature structure is 3 coin symbol, trigger and hold to win, 3 respins. Every new coin resets that counter. All right. So with that, line games pay on a fixed left to right pattern.
And ways games pay on adjacent reel combinations regardless of their position.
Yeah. So different math, different behavior.
You activated a feature.
Yes. So this is another hold and win. So you can see how the hold and win, the bonus comes up pretty quickly here. I think we went through some dry spells with the other one. You see where it says 3 spins left every single time something here. It'll lock. Now we have 2. Now 1. Now it resets because of the 3 again. I'm going to take it off turbo mode just so you can see it easier. That was a huge one, 41. So we're collecting all this amount in here, which is fantastic. This is a pretty big win. And it keeps resetting, as you can see, from 2. If we get one more symbol here, this will be a last spin. If we don't, come on. Close. But that's a pretty sizable win, to say the least.
Well, you almost swept the board. You got like 4 empty spots.
All right, so the RTP on most versions of this is in the mid-90s, thereabouts. Again, RTP return to player, and it's a medium-high volatility. So that was a pretty big win for what we wagered here.
Yeah, the RTP tells you long-term return. Volatility will tell you how bumpy the ride feels. RTP is the destination. Volatility is the turbulence.
And turbulence is what players actually feel. All right. So you can see that this probably we've been spinning quite a bit. Let's just kind of talk about the base game itself.
Yeah, the base game really isn't empty, is it?
No, and that kind of matters. I mean, you're filling up at the very top. You're filling up the treasure to collect the doubles up. You see certain wins in here as well. But if your base game feels dead, players never stay long enough to see your feature.
Yeah, and I think engagement needs to start before the bonus in a typical game.
Exactly.
To be successful. Yeah.
And so we triggered the bonus here. So this is the first game. The classic feel. But I do want to talk about a concept we introduced in the last few calls around the framework we're using around perception and probability. So perception says momentum.
Yeah, and probability says structured resets.
And then design makes it feel like escalation. All right. So I think we did enough on this game. I think we should then switch over.
Yeah, you.
Good.
Yeah, you got really lucky in the beginning there.
Exactly.
Toward the end, you were kind of duddening out. What was the net balance? I think.
It's we're betting 2. We won 165. It doesn't show the balance here because we're in demo mode.
No, it's on the left.
I think we started with 10, so we're
winner.
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 Actually, we were starting with 11, so we're up 76 pounds.
Sweet, I get to buy lunch.
All right, so here's the next one: piggy bank, blunder, hold and win. So it's the same hold and win concept, same mechanic family, different theme, slightly faster base pacing, and you'll see this in a minute when we start spinning.
I mean, it's got, and if you look at it, it's got that cabinet feel. When you put this up, it sort of reminds me. Remember the Phantom Hands of Silicon Gaming's poker game?
Yeah.
It's sort of just I don't know why it just reminds me of that game, but this game ultimately has more cartoon chaos and a whole lot less Egypt, obviously. Yeah, because it's pigs.
Yep. Still fixed lines, still hold and win, same concept, same mechanic, but it feels
mechanically it's the same hold and win structure.
Yeah, and it feels faster. You can see. I think I have turbo on here, but that will slow it down a little bit. I'll just turn that off to be consistent. But the game still feels faster.
Yeah, it feels super fast. Exactly, but the same rules, different pacing. Very very traditional, kind of like a old school stepper style.
Exactly, a dribbler. So with that, I mean, this is we're talking about 2 different games here. So it's amazing to me that 2 games can use the exact same mechanic
and feel completely different based on pacing, symbol density, real configuration, etc., etc.
Exactly, and that is called tuning. All right, so you can see here. Let's just kind of jump in here. You see, you haven't hit anything yet, but you can see the pacing like we were talking about.
What did we start out at? 11,000.
Yep, we're down a little bit, like 40 pounds.
Why did they start at 11,000? It's just such an arbitrary number. Anyway, but yeah, this one this feels slightly more active than the other one.
Yeah, the hit frequency feels a little different.
I mean, it sort of has that pub kind of feel to it, really. Cause it's bright and it just, like when you do actually win, it just shoots out at you like those things.
Yep. Why don't I trigger, because I can trigger a bonus. I'll do the buy the bonus. This is a great feature. Pragmatic has this. A lot of European companies, I think it's more started over in Europe, where there's a buy a bonus. It costs money. It's probably not the best bet. It's probably like a sucker bet in a table game. But the great part of this is you can actually skip it and go straight into um, the bonus itself. Which one should we do here?
No, let's go all in. Three holds and win spins
This one
on the
right
left. Yeah, with cash pots more often. I want more often cash pots.
here. All right, let's do this one. So you can see it's 500 quid.
By the way, this is a good time to report that you should always gamble responsible and not spend more than you can.
You seem very tongue tied today.
Yeah, I will say our previous podcasts, the editing is a lot easier. We literally had very little uhs last time.
Fantastic. So should we both just do a next 30 seconds of us?
Anyway, yeah. So two. Where are we in this script, by the way?
Uh, Mechanic evolution.
Where's that?
What a spin there.
Are we on?
Game two Dembo, right where you just were.
Oh, how do you know where I just was? Oh, okay. I think I've already said this one escalates quicker. So two games can share the same mechanic and feel differently based on pacing.
That's tuning, not innovation. All right. So let's do this other one. We spent 400 pounds, and that one didn't work out too well. We won 150 pounds. But let's try this one. We'll keep spinning and playing. It's always great to get into the bonus games. Kind of see. And then remember, this is a hold and win, so you can see the speed at which they're loading, but it keeps resetting. Keep hitting, so it keeps resetting.
I like the meter feature. That's cool.
Yeah, hopefully, I think if it fills up, if we're gonna hit it,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
it collects. I think if it all fills up to a certain point. All right, so should we zoom out a little bit? We talked a little about perception layer itself. So these games, I think both these games feel like they're building towards something. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, obviously the probability layer. You have independent spins. You have controlled distribution.
Yeah, and then the design layer, the locked reels, the reset counter, the escalating visuals. So that's all the perception probability and then design layer itself. So the mechanic isn't magic.
The tuning is. Yeah, and you can kind of see how it just engaged, especially the pig game. I mean, the engagement level of the pig game is, it pretty much just screams at you. Or should I say squeals at you? Ha, 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 ha.
Definitely squeals. I feel like we needed sort of pig joke here. I probably should have.
I felt the squeal was the pig joke.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I need to one up it and add another one, right? I'll think of one right when we stop. All right, so cohort. These games aren't chaos, max volatility games.
No, they're for hold and win loyalists, and there's a big player segment for that, a big player cohort, if you will.
Yeah, and feature anticipation players are also one of those cohorts that will like this game too.
So the question isn't, is this good? It's who is it perfect for, correct?
Exactly, and that's portfolio thinking, which is what we talked about, I think, last week. Now, let's switch over to the operator angle, the economics, and kind of talk about this. So, if a mid-tier supplier is outperforming and comes with more flexible rev share,
I mean, that will improve your blended margin, straight up.
yeah, especially if premium suppliers are more expensive. So, if your best, we talked about this last week, but we want to keep reiterating this. So, if your best performing games are your highest rev share contracts,
You're going to grow revenue while at the same time shrinking profitability.
all right, great games. Shout out to Alex. And all right, I think we should do a little hot take. What do you think?
Yeah, let's fire up these hot takes. I'm getting toasty in here. I don't have my fire on. All you see is the reflection of my screens like an idiot. Anyway, move forward.
That's all right. I feel like in the background I see a tennis player on one of your screens.
Well, yeah,
Van Gogh.
it's your Van No, and then we're on the other one. What a wonderful setup I have.
All right. So I would say that most operators allocate by brand habit.
Yeah, that's comfortable, not optimal. I mean, I remember at IGT, day to day toward the end there, it was a lot of comfort.
Yeah. And I guess it's some of that comfort is really around what game designers and math people and everything want to actually build, and using using the brand itself.
Well, yeah, and I think at IGT's defense, you can be a little bit more comfortable because 60% of your revenue is locked in every month from your Cleopatras, your Da Vinci Diamonds, your core index titles. So there's a strategy behind it.
Exactly. So
Yeah. So performance data should beat brand loyalty.
every single time. All right. Now, I feel like I should probably say like Mello drafts fantasy teams like he allocates suppliers.
Strategically?
No, high conviction, bad results.
Oh, Tim, that's variance, my friend. Just variance.
Consolation bracket. All right. Enough with that. So the wrap.
No, I feel you ribbing me again. Because what have I had? I've had like what 2 bad years in fantasy football.
You've had more than bad years. You're either first or last. You have this weird dynamic. You're, you know,
Yeah, next year, don't take rookie running backs. Not a good strategy.
well, a lot of them got hurt this year, unfortunately, but they were doing good. Scatterboo was going good until he got hurt, and
Well, with Scadaboo's injury was pretty much, easily going to happen.
yeah, but a few of them got hurt. I think forgetting the Henderson on New England. I feel like he got hurt, but then I'm forgetting the San Diego or Rams, not Rams, Chargers running back, LA.
Oh, Hampton got hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, if I would have kept, I mean, if I wouldn't have drafted Caleb Johnson in the third round, or yeah, whatever. I mean, I blame pre-draft rankings really more than anything, but
There,
it is what it is.
there was a lot of hype on him. I think I was really fortunate because I ended up having McCaffrey and HM, both of which are like injury prone, and somehow neither of them got injured the entire year.
Yeah, yeah. You had a one of those stars aligned years.
Yeah, it's always good to have the stars aligned in a three-peat, right?
Exactly.
All right, so let's go back. So going back to Kalamba, it really isn't the biggest supplier.
Kalamba. I just like the way it sounds. Yeah, but right now but right now they're one of the most efficient.
Yeah, I think we keep saying this, but tuning wins, which makes a difference.
And and speaking of winning, have you reconsidered that beard stash option? It will truly set you apart and make this venture truly take off. Now that we're on TikTok, I think you could lead the beard stash revolution.
Yeah, that's debatable, kind of like man buns, right?
I, if I could pull off a man bun, I would wear it. I mean, just for the tennis court alone. I mean, it's the perfect scene.
Yeah, I tried one time, I think when I was younger, and I couldn't quite get my hair long enough, and I was like, not for me. But I just think we should probably say, give us a like, give us a comment if you want to see new games or something on LinkedIn or something that you see crosses your plate that interests you and you want us to talk about it. Let us know.
Yes, another good show. Thanks, Tim. Catch us in podcasts, wherever they do have podcasts right now, Apple and Spotify. Yeah, so
All right.
great show.
See you next week.
All right, bye, Tim. Stop recording.